Hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for over the last year and counting, because that's right, the daily stream streak remains strong. I'm here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview. Perhaps they're from a different multiverse or metaphysical narrative level, i.e., fandom. Either way, we are here for the next 2 hours, let's call it. 2 hours for today's office hours. Maybe we can trick me into going further if the energy is quite zesty today, but I'm aiming for 2 hours. But before we begin, the standard stream subject, as well as the general Q&A, let me begin with a little bit of housekeeping. CD23, congratulations on being the most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Alongside you, Attracted to 682, Lyris, Sleepless Dragon, Froy, Dax Rays, Rebel Commander, Silent Follower, Titanborn, Puppet Boy, Philip November, Blue Phantom, Creepypasta George Harrison, Sheeny. Everyone who I have just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here as members of Site 42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, Charger, Bored as Hell, Matthew, Charlie, Zen, Building Block, Ya Local Bean, Gogonado, Echoes of the Past, and Zoe. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here today just for being you. Is this a real live stream? Intern Rayman Fan. Welcome to today's stream, which, unlike many streams on YouTube, are fake, pre-recorded, scams, etc. No, we are here just as humble employees of the SCP Foundation to answer the questions about our somewhat dangerous place of employment and the anomalies we contain. Every day, for over a year now, a daily live stream. We have not broken the streak, and we are not breaking it yet. Now, today's stream is, however, sponsored. Today's stream is sponsored by friends of the channel, Keter Labs, and their SCP Containment Breach, the movie, Kickstarter. Let us bask in the glory of the trailer for the upcoming SCP Containment Breach movie. Esteemed guests, friends of the Foundation, beloved colleagues, humanity's greatest threat is not downstairs. It's right here in this room with us. And it'll kill you, it'll kill you, it'll kill you. Hopefully, it'll kill me. Attention, all people personnel, please enter the containment chamber. Big ouch. But what's not a big ouch is supporting SCP Containment Breach the movie at their Kickstarter. We are now halfway through the Kickstarter and we have a ways to go to hit the goal. So if you want an SCP Foundation movie in theaters, especially one that could have me myself in the movie as a supporting role, get to the Kickstarter, which the desk is sharing in the chat right now, or you can go to our Site42 support beacon, beacons.ai/Site42, to find a link to the Kickstarter as well as our social media if you want to follow us here and elsewhere. Suffice it to say, an SCP movie in theater is about due. The SCP community is nearly 20 years old next year, and the Backrooms made it in 7. So we have some catching up to do, team. But one way or another, we will have an SCP in movie. We will have an SCP movie in theaters. We will make our way. Fight on. Remember to donate and share it everywhere so more people see this. I can't do it alone, people. I can yell from the rooftops all day, but I need your help. The SCP community needs your help. And we thank you for your service. Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters. If Shaw is in it, that's all I ask. Shards. Shaw might be replaced as the site director. They're working on the script, and the idea is that the site director's role is already fulfilled, as in they know what the site director is going to be doing throughout, trying to get people to give to the budget to help us keep securing, containing, and protecting. But the character of the site director can be switched, and that will color how they react to certain situations. So obviously, if I were to be the site director, I would be highly professional and nothing would go wrong and there wouldn't even be a breach in the first place, which is why I can't be the site director in the movie. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a movie because I'm too good at my job. But if someone like Clef was the site director, just might be ornery enough to let something bad happen to prove that the budget needs maintaining. It could all be a masterful plot. And therefore, Clef could be an interesting character to be site director. So it all comes down to decisions that will be made along the way. But we don't get any of those decisions unless we successfully fund the movie. So that's the current priority, people. And I thank you for your service, for both your donations to the movie, as well as your sharing it. Now, for today's stream subject, we will be going over 2 SCPs from the SCP database, both rather quickly so we can have a fair amount of general Q&A today. I will get to all donations during the general Q&A after the stream subject. Now, the first SCP story that we are going to be going over today is part of the ongoing Pride Fest 2026 on the SCP database. If you're an LGBTQIA person on the SCP Wiki, that includes me as an asexual person, then congratulations, be proud of who you are. You will not be harmed by the Foundation as a staff member. Now, Pride Fest ongoing is showing off a little SCP story each day. Today's Pride feature is called Come Find Us, We Will Be Waiting, written by SCP author Ori Tiefling. If you pop over to this, you can see it's about space. And this article is a continuation that I didn't know exists of SCP-7999. If you're unfamiliar, SCP-7999 is another space article, of course, about a race of mantis-like aliens who open a wormhole to Earth, accidentally revealing the fact that the anomalous exists to the general public. It creates a broken masquerade scenario. And in that story, we interact with an ambassador of the Caridid race named Kartekin. One of our researchers, Basil, shows Kartekin around the planet, introduces Kartek into Earth culture. They make friends. It's adorable. If you're a fan of Project Hail Mary, this is alien and research bromance to the stars. This is right up your alley if you enjoy that aspect of Project Hail Mary. And Come Find Us We'll Be Waiting is a sequel tale where, me oh my, after the wormhole closed at the end of 7999, the Foundation has been trying to find the Caridids again. And so you can read as Basil, who was the utmost expert, having gotten to visit their homeworld briefly, tries to help the Foundation find the way to bring the Caridids back. It is heartwarming. I think you should check it out. Yes, Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie. They are adorable. The story is adorable. And everyone should enjoy it, both as a Pride feature and enjoying. Ooh, good kisses right on my mouth. Thank you. Thank you, Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie. Charlie is here to say hello. She knew stream started, and if she did not come and get your attention in particular, chat, she was going to be grumpy about it the entire day. So please give your attention to Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie, so she will not be grumpy. We appreciate your care in this matter. Look at those doughy eyes. Here is a treat from the chat to the Puppy of Interest. A nom, nom nom, nom nom. Very good puppy. The sweetest pumpkin at Site 42. Okay, run away! Please. Does she know that people across the world love her? Well, just Pitt, if she hears me humming the stream opening song, then she comes running immediately because she knows it's time to say hello. So I like to think that Charlie is quite aware of her popularity in the Site 42 and greater SCP fandom, and is just basking in it. So, the Pride feature of the day is Come Find Us, We'll Be Waiting. Let's go listen in, or sorry, I hope you go read that tale from the Pride Fest 2026 and enjoy it. It is quite cute. Ori Tiefling, don't miss. Now, next up on our stream subject is our continuation of reading the articles of This Is My Jam Con. We are just past halfway reading the articles of This Is My Jam Con. And I said we were going to read them, and we are going to read them. Now, thankfully, this is a shorter article, which means we will be able to have much more Q&A after the article is completed. So, what is today's article? Now, a reminder for those who have not been present at streams recently, This Is My Jam Con was an SCP Foundation unofficial contest where SCP authors swapped song recommendations and then wrote SCPs about them. And so, I have also been, as a bonus objective, trying to guess the song that the article was written about. Out of the current 15 SCPs we have written, I successfully have guessed one. And it is because all of them except that one have been based on songs that I have never heard of. So the SCP authors are messing with me. But I got one, and it was kind of cheating because the title of the article was a lyric from the song, and I did know the song and its title. It still counts. So, the next article of the day is SCP-9665, codename Elevator Ambiance by Blazing Pie. Now, the title Elevator Ambiance does not do anything with me. If that's the name of the song, I don't know it. It would be very funny if the song was The Girl from Ipanema, because that's very often used as elevator music, that would make me laugh. But let us read SCP-9665, codename Elevator Ambiance, after which we will enjoy general Q&A for the remainder of the stream. So, item number SCP-9665, object class Play-Doh. This must be a Series 0 SCP. Series 0 is doing a time-traveling thing where the Series 0 concept on the SCP Wiki is that you start from SCP-173 and then branch off only from that. So now they're making up new object classes, they're still playing with the format, it's a completely different kind of SCP. Very similar to the Classicon concept, but slightly tweaked. So, let's see how old school this old school is. Special containment procedures. Department of Publicity personnel are monitoring and analyzing security feeds from previously affected buildings for signs of 9665 encounters. Upon confirmation of a sighting, at least 2 program agents are to be sent to the scene. Specimens of 9665 are to be apprehended by agents posing as security. The entities are then to be interviewed to the best of staff's abilities. Plausible information concerning 9665-A is obtainable only through this process, and at this time remains mostly unconfirmed. All available surveillance camera footage depicting 9665 should be confiscated and or suppressed. Due to their near-human appearance and non-threatening demeanor, no further concealment of 9665 is deemed necessary. There is a photograph, but it is just a photo of the elevators in the Empire State Building, which is the first sighting of 9665's location. So if you really want to look at the photo, you can look up the Empire State Building's elevators. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. So, let's see what our description is. SCP-9665 are anomalous humanoid entities manifesting near the skyscrapers of New York City. Although 9665 seems to prefer older structures, it is presumed that the buildings chosen by the specimens are random. This is very frustrating that they can jump all across the city. That does make it much harder to contain. Give me 1 second. This is why I wipe my hands when the puppy shows up, because the allergies. The allergies. All right, where was I? Description. Instances of SCP-9665 are similar to middle-aged to elderly humans. No obvious patterns to their appearance have been observed so far, besides all instances encountered wearing a full gray-colored tweed suit. Multiple members of personnel have noted that 9665 do not possess distinctive facial features. Despite this, no 2 identical instances have ever been observed. First encountered by civilians in the 1920s, all 9665 so far followed the exact same behavioral pattern. A specimen will suddenly manifest in a crowd near the front entrance of a selected building. It will then head inside, taking the stairs to the chosen elevator's highest floor. Upon reaching the elevator, 9665 will enter and ride it to the ground floor. Afterwards, it will exit the building, seek to enter a crowd again, and subsequently demanifest. So it appears in a crowd, climbs all the stairs, rides the elevator down, goes back out into a crowd, and disappears. Interesting behavior. And 665 specimens can be stopped for a short period of time while trying to exit the building, and will answer some questions regarding the elevator ride, albeit sparingly. Footnote. For a full record of 9665 interviews, consult Appendix 9665-1C-Delta. 9665 instances are generally mild-mannered and exceptionally polite in their interactions with program staff, although they tend to exhibit a certain degree of confusion when asked about the purpose of their behavior, oftentimes regarding it as not unusual. It's not unusual. Anyways, as a result of either coincidence or conscious action on the part of instances, apprehended specimens of 9665 ultimately always demanifest. During their elevator ride, all 9665 specimens enter into a space designated 9665-A. According to their testimony, 9665-A is largely identical to the original elevator shaft. However, the elevator doors open at random floors, revealing a small room with dimensions akin to the elevator. The walls, ceiling, and floor are composed of unpainted concrete blocks, and the room is kept illuminated by a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling. The three walls of the room are decorated with up to one oil painting each. Footnote. Some 9665 has referred to these as photographs or simply pictures. Next to the paintings are small white plaques indicating the title of a given piece. Despite the plaques possessing sufficient empty space, aside from the title, the paintings are without description. 9665 consistently claimed to never actually enter any of these rooms, instead opting to quietly observe their contents from the elevator. So it's somewhat a elevator museum. Addendum -1. The following section documents some standout rooms of 9665-A. Footnote. For a full record of -A room information, consult 9665-5B-alpha. It is worth noting that 9665 specimens frequently tend to contradict each other, especially when discussing what is believed to be the same room. The vast majority of the details included below are to be regarded as somewhat unreliable. Room 9665/002 appears on the first few floors going down. The frequency with which this particular room appears has dropped significantly over the decades 9665 has been in containment. The reason for this is unknown. The left painting depicts a large white ballroom with a golden wall decor. Various models of gramophones are scattered across the floor, each placed upside down and propped up with rusted bent saxophones. The ceiling is made out of dollar banknotes painted black, titled The Greater Days. Right painting, absent. Center painting depicts a circular room with walls made out of wooden planks covered in mold, fungi, and moss. The floor of the room is covered in a shallow coating of unknown bromine-like fuming liquid spilling out of a hole in its center. Wine bottles in various states of disrepair are affixed to the ceiling using fishing lines. Title: A Youngster's Forbidden Fruit. And you saw nothing, because you can't see the elevators. You're not a 9665. I hope. Room 9665/018 appears on the first few floors going down. Left painting depicts a thick forest with a wide range of trees disregarding geographical and botanical sense. The smaller trees seem to be dying. There is no grass. There is a small clearing in the center of the piece, containing a scene depicting two male figures throwing a small rusted cauldron into a bigger cauldron of similar make. Some of the bigger trees... This should be bigger tress. It says tress, but it means trees. That's a typo. Some of the bigger trees have bundles of axes wrapped around their trunks with rope, titled, once again, Stage 0. Right painting depicts a dilapidated concert hall made entirely out of featureless and gray brick and stone slabs. The audience seats are covered in barbed wire and bear visible fire marks. There is no ceiling. The sky is dark gray in color without clouds. On the far side of the stage, there is a framed black and white depiction of a radio. The only non-gray objects are the tattered red curtains, titled, once again, Stage 1. Interesting, a sequel painting in the same room. Center painting is absent. Room 073 appears near the middle of the elevator ride. Left painting depicts a combined kitchen and dining room of a wooden house. At the center, there is a table with 5 chairs. The chairs are occupied by plush toys depicting a man, a woman, a young boy, a young girl, and a dog. A tablecloth, missing from the table, is nailed to the ceiling using various syringes, knives, and one belt buckle. Less than 1/4 of the tablecloth is visible. Titled, Visions of What We Were Told. What the hell? Right painting absent. Center painting depicts a futuristic-looking sports car parked in a lunar-like environment, surrounded on all sides by crude concrete spikes. A crowd wearing colorful party hats is seen in the background, watching a depiction of the same sports car on TV. Some of the partygoers, backrooms reference? I'm kidding. Are turned away from the screen and are instead looking up or appear asleep. Titled Rapid Progress. It feels like they're building something. 141 appears near the middle of the elevator ride. Room 141 has the left painting. Depicts a nightclub bathroom without mirrors or stalls. One of the sinks is replaced with an IBM personal computer. 2 disco balls are mounted on the ceiling, wrapped up in toilet paper. Random floor tiles have been removed. The resultant holes are surrounded on 4 sides by diversely colored trainers. The only window in the room is boarded up with rusted metal sheet. Titled Recreational. Right painting is absent. Center painting depicts a crack in a wall, titled As the Walls Began to Fall. So we had the Greater Days, Forbidden Fruit. We had once again Stage 0 and Stage 1. Visions of what we were told, Rapid Progress. Now Recreational, and the Walls Begin to Fall. Room 203 appears near the ground floor of the elevator ride. No left painting, it's absent. Right painting depicts a brightly illuminated hospital-like hallway with uneven lighting all throughout. Dozens of hospital beds with metallic humanoid statues standing up on top of them line the walls. In place of their heads, the statues possess broken TV screens. One considerably smaller statue visible under one of the beds displays a face-shaped image on its TV, despite it being broken. Titled Symptoms. Center painting depicts a skyscraper standing in a featureless gray void, with empty parking lots located at the base of the building and on its roof. The windows of the structure are almost entirely covered in graffiti-like arrow shapes, pointing downwards. A single, indistinct humanoid figure is seen atop the building. It appears to be sprinting either towards or away from the ledge. Titled Options. How can it be appearing to be sprinting either towards or away from the ledge? How can it be both in a painting? Is this some sort of cognitohazard that is confusing the viewers? Oh, I remember now. Unreliable narrators. That's what we're dealing with. It's fine. It's fine. Remember, the 9665 instances often contradict each other. Room 313 always appears as the last room before reaching ground floor, regardless of the amount of floors traveled. Left painting, absent. Right painting, absent. Center painting. A painting hanged with its backside facing the elevator door. The actual contents are unknown, and it is not framed. On the back, in the bottom left corner, there is a crude coal drawing of a rectangular shape with various lines coming out of it. Each instance of 9665 to date has concluded the drawing to be a different object. The painting has a title, although written in a language and script that are not known to any recorded 9665 instance. Addendum 2. Human attempts at entering 9665-A invariably prove fruitless, with the following approaches being tested and subsequently confirmed as ineffective by research staff. Entering an elevator in place of a 9665 specimen before it enters the building. Entering an elevator in place of a 9665 specimen before it starts ascending the staircase. Entering an elevator in place of a 9665 specimen before it approaches the elevator door. Entering an elevator in place of a 9665 specimen after pushing it away. Entering an elevator alongside a 9665 specimen. Despite contradicting testimony from 9665, individuals engaging in the last behavior consistently report feeling the elevator rise. So when you get in the elevator with a 9665 specimen, they claim the elevator descends when they visit the museums, but the human alongside them feels the elevator rising. That's just one more mystery on top of a whole lot of what? What? Excuse me? All right, I do not know what any of those paintings mean. I do not understand what these anomalies are doing, and it frustrates me. I feel like the last scene in the Backrooms movie, specifically the character in the white coat. If you saw the movie, if you know, you know. Okay, so I have no idea what song this could be. Desk, it would be very funny if it was elevator music, which is why I'm going with the girl from Ipanema. So, now I'm going to look at the discussion and see what it was. For JamCon, I got It's Just a Burning Memory by The Caretaker. Everyone knows it. I don't know it! What do you mean? Blazing Pie. Once again, another song I don't know. Yeah, overall, I like the article. It has a good taste of mystery. I don't really understand it. I feel like there's something underpinning it, but I'm not grasping it, and it frustrates me. So I'm going to give it an upvote. I think that was a good article overall. Oh my god, the article really does feel like that song after all. Everyone's saying, yeah, I know it. Yeah, that's how the song feels. Fine. Is it just like an instrumental song that I've heard somewhere? Or is it a song I've heard somewhere? Let me turn off my ambiance and let's see what we've got without YouTube getting mad at me. Oh, this is the song they put on every TikTok Backrooms video. I see. Okay. Well then, yes. Okay, I did know the song. I've never heard its name. So by name, I wouldn't have gotten it. But yes, okay, I do know that song because it's the song they put on every single Backrooms TikTok video. So I am familiar, yes. And so, overall, yes, I like the video, and I do agree with everyone now that I know what song it is. Yes, that drudgery kind of tone, the dissonance, it does fit with all of these weird entities spawning, not being able to agree on what they saw, or seeing different things completely, who knows. Rebel Commander, the song once again is called, what is it, Just a Burning Memory? It's Just a Burning Memory by The Caretaker. It's Just a Burning Memory by The Caretaker is the song. And the article we just finished reading is SCP-9665. I gave it an upvote because it had the vibe for me. I enjoyed it. And actually knowing the song, it improved it even more for me. So, that is our SCP reading of the day. We are currently 35 minutes into today's stream. I said we were going to be here for 2 hours, maybe more, but definitely 2 hours. That means we've got about 85 minutes of general Q&A remaining. So, let me go over to the donations that we got during the intro and the stream subject. And once I am caught up, we will then have general Q&A. 100 stars. Thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. They are now a 1-star team until Sleepless Dragon drops 2 stars for them, making them a 3-star team. Philip November, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some beefed jerky on your way past the commissary. 1 viewer, 3 likes. Success! Well, yes, I guess at that point, the likes would be more than the viewers and very confusing physics-wise. Comet Howell, thank you for sending a star to make them a 4-star team. Philip November, thank you for sending a star to make them a 5-star team. You guys made it to a 5-star team. Let's see how long it takes you to mess up that rating, huh? Tag and Doge, thank you for sending a good luck, have fun to the chat. I'm sure for the course of this office hours, they will have good luck and have fun. Orum, thank you for sending a makeup brush to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will beat their face and look fly doing it, slay queen. Comet Howell, thank you for sending a doubloon to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will spend it wisely. Philip November, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team to make them a 1-star team again. The cycle continues. Comet, thank you for sending a 1 hundo. I'm sure the chat will keep it 1 hundo. Tagados, thank you for sending a flower. I'm sure the chat found it very pretty. Amber, thank you for sending a floating heart, as well as you, Talos. I am sure the 2 floating hearts will make the chat feel the love. Fox Packs and Co., thank you for your 26 months as a Mobile Task Force captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your over 2 years of membership and service. Evening, Dr. Sherman. Updating the situation. It turns out that the Eevee was discovered and sent by Team Rocket. We found out because they attacked us. Okay, but did you actually Pokemon battle them, or did you use the actual weapons you have? See, we're not the Pokemon universe here. We can actually just shoot bad guys. Especially if they somehow breach a site with an informant. So, yeah, you can just shoot those guys. Sleepless Dragon, thank you for sending a floating heart. 2 floating hearts to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Double the love again. Malachi, thank you for sending 2 stars. That means that the chat is now a 3-star team. They are on their way back to 5-star status. Affleck, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some French toast on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I found a shroom with a similar string to SCP-420-J. You know where to get some. After hours is going to be very interesting at Site 42, I see. Intern Stewart. Hey, bruh, stop ignoring me, bruh. This is the first time I'm seeing your name. I'm not ignoring you, I didn't know you existed. There are more than just you in this chat. Chill. Have some social grace. We are a professional organization. The likelihood of me treating you with respect is based on your ability to act respectable. Try harder. So as a 3-star team, we continue. 05 Council 3, thank you for sending a doubloon to the chat. I'm sure they'll spend it wisely. And then you sent, from a 3-star team, you then sent them 12 stars, which brings them to a 5-star team again. Congratulations, chat. You are currently a 5-star team yet again. You did it. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, did you know that cyberspace is still being made? I'd think it should have ended by now. Maybe motherboard is an anomaly with how slow hackers' virus is. Philip, what are you talking about? What? I don't seem to remember what you're talking about. Did I take some amnestics accidentally? If I pushed over SCP-173 and blinked, can he still kill me? Well, first, intern Holcomb. Reminder that SCP-173 is not a he. It's an object, not a person. It's an it. In fact, all anomalies in containment are treated as objects, not people. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. They are its. Don't humanize the anomalies. But furthermore, if you knock the SCP-173 sculpture over, if it doesn't break, which don't destroy anomalies, we're not the Global Occult Coalition after all. Furthermore, you would run into a problem where, yes, it could still move, and in fact, it's going to move like a missile at your kneecaps. You will have shattered kneecaps. Not pleasant. Typo, I meant Cyber Chase. Okay, do you know that Cyber Chase is still being made? I think it have ended by now. Maybe motherboard is an anomaly with how slow hackers virus. I don't know what Cyber Chase is. I am unfamiliar with this. Desk is showing me in the back channels that this is a PBS kids show. Well, while the Wikipedia is taking forever to load so I can look at what we're talking about, what I do know is that since it's a PBS show, it's probably not long for this world thanks to the actions of SCP-5004-B defunding PBS. Again, Site 17 can suck it for making SCP-5004-B the President of the United States. Hashtag Clef for President. I love the article that the title is referencing. Intern YouTube, I'm glad to hear it. It is a good, heartwarming article, great for Pride Month. What? Dr. Sherman doesn't know about the absolute peak that is Cyber Chase. Well, let's see here. Cyber Chase started January 21st, 2002. I would have been 16 years old at the time, and so probably not interested in a PBS kids show. Keep in mind, Dr. Sherman is UNC status. Yes, I probably should have just led with that. You are correct, Affleck. Can we keep calling him John SCP? Well, I don't think I can stop you. That's not my name. Dr. Sherman, is there a schedule for pizza days in the cafeteria? Intern Malachi, pizza day is whenever SCP-458 is brought to site. The Infinite Pizza Box is transferred from site to site to improve site morale. So, the next time 458 comes to site, I'll let you know. Back in my day, our cyberspace TV show was called Reboot, and the graphics were terrible, and we were happy with it. Reboot was a very good show. Until it wasn't. But when it was good, ooh, it was real good. Isn't Kondraki site director of Site 17? We got to get this guy a different gig. Not in most universes. I believe Kondraki, well, first of all, in the universes where Kondraki is dead, definitely not the site director. But on top of that, yes, actually. Oh, I was wrong. Former site director of 17. Must have mixed him up with 19 there. My mistake. What are your thoughts on SCP-5K? Intern J-Bay. Thank you for giving me an excuse to talk about this. So SCP-5K, just as a... Wait, are you talking about the game or the actual article, SCP-5000, J-Bay? Regardless, I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. I've never played SCP-5K, the game, but Afray Interactive, the studio that makes it, is good people. Therefore, I have worked with them in the past, and therefore, they are good to go in my book, and I hope people enjoy their game. Furthermore, SCP-5000, the article, is a very interesting romp, a very good adventure that is fun to read, a wild ride. And I was just talking about this on Twitter the other day. Remember, you can follow us on other platforms, social media, for other discussions of SCP that don't end up on stream. And one person was saying a phrase I'm coming to hate in the SCP community. A phrase I'm coming to hate is the phrase, SCP shouldn't be a movie, it would be better as an anthology TV series. Please stop limiting your imagination. It could be both. Because, especially something like SCP-5000, that could be both a singular movie, an action-packed romp through the SCP Foundation caused apocalypse, or it could be a long-term survival series, similar to The Walking Dead. The same could be said about When Day Breaks. When Day Breaks can be a really good singular movie following a character, or it could be a long-term series about a group of survivors. There's a lot of SCP concepts that would make really good individual movies. And of course, there are lots of SCP scenarios that could be told in a nice anthology series or a long-term series. There's a lot of different things that could be done. And when people limit their imagination, I am sure that there's a lot of people who aren't donating to the Keter Labs SCP Containment Breach movie because their opinion is, oh, it should be an anthology series. ¿Por qué no los dos? Both is good. I will take both. And if we get the singular movie, more filmmakers will be inspired to dip into the SCP pool and make more things, which will get us that anthology series, which will get us more movies. So, yes, it would be a good anthology series, but not better than an actual movie. You can't compare those. They're two different animals for two different stories. There's over 10,000 SCP articles. Some of them would be great movies. Some of them would be great bite-sized entries in an anthology series. Let's try to do them all and support the other projects. That way we can keep going. I try to be nice when I discuss this on social media because I don't want to get in a fight with a person because they are an SCP fan and they're not a bad person. But when it's a general sense, my frustration creeps out. I would like it to be made. Either one. Holy shit. two cakes type beat. Exactly, Puppet Boy. Oh no, we got a movie and an anthology series. My lobster's too juicy. My steak too buttery. They go both ways, I guess. Your lobster can be buttery. You dip your lobster in butter, and you put butter on steaks. It was fine the way I said it. Attracted to 682, thank you for, I think, your first donation of today's stream with your terrible, terrible username, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some buttery steak or lobster. Your choice. No, have both. Have both. Just for you today. Hello, John SCP. Favorite site besides your own? So that John SCP thing has come up again. Interesting. And a favorite site besides the site that I run. Well, it's not going to be 19 or 17. Those places are fucking crazy. I wish the coding of the facilities page worked better. That way I could actually read them all. Does anybody stand out to me? I guess I got to go with 43. Cuz 43 The Adventures of Dr. Weddle are too hilarious to miss out on. Can't hate on Weddle cuz it's too funny. Fucking loser. Philip November, thank you for donating twice again to say, I recognize the water in the body. No, you don't. Neither does Agent Iplier either. No. But I thought you were annoyed with that guy. But it comes and goes. I mean, you gotta admit, watching Weddle work is hilarious. Dr. Sherman, I have a job interview today. They're going to be calling me soon for another interview. Thanks for the help. Hey, good luck. Glad it's going well. Hope we helped. And then, Phil November, you said, time to let the new people know there is no anti-memetics division. Yes, there is no anti-memetics division. I believe you're talking about as a show. Is a 4-part miniseries on the Andrea Joshua Asnikar YouTube channel. And so, not quite an anthology series because it is a continuing narrative. But it is pretty cool regardless. You should check it out. Intern Team Speed, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go ahead and get yourself some, I don't know, get yourself some gamer fuel, not sponsored, on your way past the commissary. Who would win the fight? SCP-096 or Thrag? 096 is pretty durable, but not Thrag durable. The vacuum pull gravity of the windup of a punch would straight up nuke 096. Would you consider the Lot 1 stuff an anthology? Yes, Desk of Alto Clef, I certainly would. Lot 1 Productions on YouTube has an anthology series for SCP called Redacted. It's actually kind of hard to find it because Redacted is such a general title that if you look up SCP Redacted, you get a lot of search results. But if you look up SCP Redacted, Lot 1 Productions, then you get a 5-episode miniseries, I believe, anthology about different SCPs. SCP-1471 Mallow is there. The Indoor Salesman is there. 079 has an episode. It's good stuff. Go check it out. They're working on a season 2, and we need to support that. Rebel Commander, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a grab yourself a bread roll on your way past the commissary. Without the movie funded, we'll never get that series made. A movie is easier to fund to a series. The movie is asking for less than $1 million. A prestige television series version of SCP would cost 1 to 2 mil per episode. So that's a lot. We need to build up to that. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say I was talking about the book. Oh, well, There Is No Anti-Memetics Division is a very good book. The new edition is not SCP, thanks to snafus about Creative Commons. But still, get that bag. Quantum, author of There Is No Anti-Memetics Division. I hear the changes are pretty good regardless. And one day, we will get SCP to a point where you can make it without having to scratch the serial numbers off. It bothers me. Attracted to 682, thank you for donating again to say. Does willingness to be contained affect object class? No, at least most of the time. Some unprofessional researchers may say, oh, but it wants to stay, and so it's a Euclid instead of a Keter. It's not supposed to be that way. Hello, man. I love your videos. Well, thank you, intern Warburg. We appreciate you enjoying our work. We're doing our best on these streets to make entertaining SCP content for the people, to bring more people into the SCP fandom. Dr. Sherman, did you hear what the New York Post did to the director of the Backrooms movie? Yes, I did hear about them doxing Kane Pixels, which is stupid and weird, but that's the New York Post. Stupid and weird. I am most likely a safe class. I'm just some guy who can see in the dark. Intern Zen. While seeing in the dark does not make you more likely, that much more likely of an escape risk. Any living anomaly is starting at Euclid class. Humanoid anomalies with sapient sentience, that is not a safe class anomaly by any means, because any humanoid or creature anomaly could start to plan an escape. So once it's a living entity, it's typically Euclid. Some fool made SCP-343 a safe. Yes, attracted to 682. 343 has scammed a bunch of the Foundation into pretending or believing that it's beneficial and not going to leave and it's safe. Those people are idiots. Don't be like them. Hashtag SCP-343 is fraud, not God. I need to fix Doggo. I have it down as safe and it should be Euclid. Well, Desk, the narrator of that article is very, very, very much into the love of number one Doggo. And therefore, that could be a mistake on the part of the researcher in universe. In fact, rather than fixing it, you could leave a note about how this should be Euclid since it's a living creature. Something like that. SCP-729-J. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. You disgusting abomination. Grab yourself some nice thumbtacks on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, get me ready for my money shot in the movie. No! None of that. None of that. We cannot put that thing on screen. We don't pay the movie theater employees enough to clean up that much vomit. Everything about that message is wrong. Site 42 staff, we are currently 1 hour in today's stream. That leaves us 1 hour remaining. Dr. Sherman, that's based on canon. Stop being redacted to alternate Foundation staff. Once again, DJ, they're in my house. They follow my rules. My broadcast, my rules. They want to have a fuss, they can go to a different broadcast. Do you recognize the bodies in the water? Warmerk, no, and neither do you, if you know what's good for you. Site 42 staff and the Containment Hazard Assessment team, please remember we have a moderator named the Desk of Alto Clef. The name is Blue. It's very easy to see in the chat. Anytime the blue name speaks, you should read it. Not only because sometimes there's some funny jokes in there, or the desk answers some of your questions that are simpler to answer if I'm not getting to them, but because if you are called out for breaking the rules and you continue to break the rules, you will be banned from the chat. And that goes for it whether you acknowledge that or not. So pay attention to the moderator, or else. Intern Orum, thank you for sending a party hat to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will have a party thanks to your generosity. Intern Gooby, thank you for sending a goat trophy to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will have fun with the anomaly known as, just need to get its designation, SCP-2576, code name Joseph and the Technicolor Dream Goat. I am sure that they will have a great time with Joseph and the Technicolor Dream Goat. SCP-2576. Intern Malachi, thank you for sending a gold coin to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they'll spend it wisely. I love you. Please marry me, John Site 42. Intern Rubber Eater. I am flattered, but I'm not interested. Also, I'm your superior officer. That would be a conflict of interest. Also, hashtag annoyed in asexual. Intern Alex and intern User. Thank you for sending both of you gold coins to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will spend those doubloons wisely. What would happen if someone dodged SCP-096 in space? Intern Noruxio. SCP-096, do you realize how fast it can run? It runs very, very fast. It's got very strong legs. You could say that SCP-096 doesn't skip leg day. 096 would use that very powerful squat booty to jump to space and get you. You are not safe. Are you aware of the Second Occult War? Intern Enzo. Everybody in the Foundation is familiar, at least historically, with the Second Occult War. It isn't a field of study that I got deep into, but I am aware of its existence after all. Intern user, thank you for sending 28 gold doubloons to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they are going to spend this cache of treasure wisely. I can outrun it, not gonna lie. Intern Enzo. SCP-096 is extremely fast. I do not believe you are that, quote, built different in this sense. At least you have not revealed such abilities to us previously. Intern 4055, thank you for sending 9 gold coins to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will spend them wisely. There should be an SCP movie about the shy guy going on a rampage, and then the mobile task force comes as long as says, oh boy, it's time, SCP-096. And boom is back, entertainment, it's all good and berries. Intern Scout, that was a very strange sentence, to be sure. But we already have a short film of that titled SCP-096 on YouTube, as made by Mr. Clay and Dark Math Films. It's pretty good for a short film. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, who wants to bet I could handle 096 after taking SCP-420-J? SCP-420-J slows you down. It does not make you faster. That's not a good idea. Zen, thank you for sending a picnic basket to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will keep it safe from any pilfering bears in the vicinity. Jess of Chaos, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some pizza rolls on your way past the commissary. Annoyed and asexual would be a very funny emote. Well, Junior Researcher Sally is here. How do you design that as an emote, though? That's very small. Regular or anomalous bears? Well, I was assuming regular bears, but now that I think about it, Yogi Bear can walk upright and speak as a human being. So that is a fairly anomalous bear, actually. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, not with how epic I was during the Lack Room debacle. Well, that was a very crazy random happenstance. That could... You could luck out Jeff style, possibly. Annoyed Sherm with an ace flag, maybe. Maybe holding the ace flag over my shoulder with one hand, looking disapprovingly, and thumbs up on the other. Philip is never going to let us forget that, are they? Well, intern T Rose, would you? Talk about big fish stories. Becomes the only thing you talk about after a while. All bears can walk upright, only the talking is anomalous. Yep, they can walk upright, but for how long? Yogi Bear walks upright for a very dramatic amount of time. Is it possible to give a promotion in your site? Intern Cully, membership gifts are turned on for here. So if you want to promote a white name to a green name to make them a level 1 researcher instead of an intern, you are welcome to do so. Intern Malachi, thank you for sending sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will be cleaning up glitter out of their offices for days. How to be a member. Intern T version. There's membership buttons, I believe, in the chat somewhere to become a member, or going to the Site 42 YouTube channel. There's a become a member button. Hypothetically, if I had the ability to create doors, could I escape SCP-3008 easily? No, intern browser, because that would only give you doors to other parts of the infinite IKEA, as in putting a door in a wall. The only door that leads out of the infinite IKEA moves around, and you can't create that door unless your doors are specifically doors to other universes. Then that's a whole different thing. But if your ability is just to create a door in a wall, that's just going to lead to another section of the infinite IKEA. Mm, mm, mm. What would happen if someone no clips into the back rooms while the old man SCP takes them to their pocket dimension? Well, then, Radical Larry would be having a very disappointing lack of meal, because the pocket dimension is like going into a dimensional doorway, but if partially through that dimensional doorway you took a no clip into a different dimensional doorway, then that usurps it. How involved are you in the SCP community, and have you ever created one popular or not? Intern Primal Ape. I started reading about SCP somewhere 13 to 14 years ago. I then started to write my own SCP documents and doing my readings on my YouTube channel, of course. My most popular article, I don't know how popular any of my articles are in the cultural zeitgeist. I don't think my articles particularly stand out, but if you go to my author page, you can see the SCPs I wrote. And the most popular is SCP-2700-EX. Beyond that, I do have a very, very, very minor staff position on the SCP Wiki as part of internet outreach. Mostly, my job is just to, if someone comes to me about wanting to make an SCP game or a TV series or something, I liaison between the actual internet outreach staff and them so that they can communicate clearly. SCP movie. Intern Smile Jetpacks, you are correct. There is currently a Kickstarter for SCP Containment Breach, the movie, if that is something you want to exist. But if it is something you want to exist, everybody needs to donate and share this Kickstarter. Even is that just it just happens to be that I'm going to be in the SCP movie? How silly me, I wasn't even going to show that off. But going to the campaign itself, even a minimal donation of $1 is enough to help us make this happen. If enough people donate $1, that's that. I got a question. Do we need permission to sell merch of SCP? No. Due to the Creative Commons license, you can just make your merch and sell it. The only thing is you have to have the Creative Commons release for your designs. That way, other people are allowed to reuse your designs and sell them. Fun fact, SCP-3086 is on the Format Screw Hub. Huh, I didn't know that. That's adorable. I wonder if it says anything about it, or if it's just a listing on a list of different format screws. Honestly, I didn't know we had a Format Screw Hub in the first place. That would be a very fun place to go for some mind-bending SCPs. Ah, they pulled the audio. That way, oh. Did they pull the whole audio? Well, it's not playing. Interesting. I do like format screws, so I'm going to need to look into that later. Neato Afrito. What is SCP-2700-EX? It is a case of fraud against the Foundation. A researcher was trying to cure breast cancer, or cancer in general, and got caught wasting Foundation resources on it. It was a whole debacle. Read the article. Your pick is so silly, Doc, it's weird not seeing you with a beard. Yes, that is a pre-pandemic headshot. That's also my IMDb picture. I need to get back into fighting shape and then go get some more recent headshots ready. Attracted to 682, thank you for donating again to say. Can one of every SCP beat a billion lions? Well, since SCP-3812 can exist on the higher pataphysical narrative level than the lions, making the lions fictional, and then just delete them, yes. Dr. Sherman, what do you think about titanium? Because I think it's super duper mega giga strong and stuff, and we should use it. I know you're just trying to mess with me, and you're not actually infected with SCP-022-J-1. Still frustrating. Very funny trolling you did there. Dr. Sherman shirtless pics when/stupid. Well, Aflac, once I get back into fighting shape, and maybe if I decide to start that Foundation Fitness Initiative OnlyFans, which will not be OnlyFans in the traditional sense, just a fitness group, maybe there will be some six-pack pictures, if I ever reach that. The last time I tried to get a six-pack, I ended up too skinny, and I had to rebound and put muscle back on. But I think I'm getting better at it. I think one day I might be able to pull it off. Remember, just because you're asexual doesn't mean you can't be hot as hell. Slay Queen. What have I stumbled upon? Nikki Knackle, it's been a minute. How you doing? What about a sexy calendar? It would pair well with my evil and sexy plans. But what would we be raising money for? That's the question. I remember Markiplier's tasteful nudes calendar. It's not out of the question. Raise money for the SCP movie. It's too soon. I don't have time to do that, man. I don't have time to do that. That would need to be approved and planned ahead of time. Attracted to 682. Thank you for donating again to say. Would you rather have unlimited bacon but no games, or games unlimited games but no games? What? What? Rephrase that. What are you talking about? Unlimited bacon but no games, or games unlimited games but no games. What are you saying? Can SCP-3000 kill SCP-682? No, Intern Abernathy, it cannot. I can't even imagine we took 682 out to the ocean, Indian Ocean, to try that, but I'll take a look. Termination log. We used Y909, the amnestic fluid, on 682, but it did not affect the entity. And no, we have not had them interact. We consider that to be a bad idea. Why do you swear now? The SCP Foundation is an adult fandom meant for people 18 and older due to all the extensive horror and sexuality and different adult themes on the website. We always have cursed. Because we deal with a lot of fucking shit. It was a reference. I don't get the reference. But what I do get is that we are at 35 minutes left in stream, people. 35 minutes left in stream. I want to write an SCP based off tardigrades. Killswitch engage. I do wonder, intern Killswitch, if we already have one or not. If I search the database for the term tardigrade, SCP-157 is of the tardigrade phylum. The word tardigrade shows up in 109 SCP articles. Not all of them are tardigrades, but the word shows up at least, so you can check them out and maybe delineate yours from what's on there. It might be things that feed on tardigrades as well. 60-meter long tardigrades. Huh. Putting my weenus is a waddle. I don't understand, Just Pit. Everybody knows the weenus is a dance. How do you put a dance in a what? I'm very confused now. I finished making a creepypasta anthology movie, and I'm hoping my next project is an SCP training tape. Hopefully, I'll get the money to afford a lab coat. Remember, if you go to a medical supply store where they sell scrubs and lab coats and stuff like that, lab coats are not too expensive there. They'll get you. Oh, ooh. Today was a upper day at the gym. Sore. Good. Yes, actual lab coats are not terribly expensive, so do what you can. I see a Ko-Fi notification. Let me grab that before I forget it exists. Aflac, thank you for donating again, and thank you this time for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi, which, as we know, only takes 3% of your donation as a service fee, whereas YouTube Super Chats take 30% of your donation for YouTube's coffers. So we definitely appreciate you making the effort to go to the Ko-Fi. And you said, give me a spade and I'll give you a hoe way on the railroad. Dirt on my brow and steel in my soul way on the railroad. Picking up coal and we're picking up speed. Shovel as much as the engine needs. Sweat and blood gonna earn my pay. I don't know this song, but that was my best interpretation of the lyrics I saw. Not a bad workers song. Not a bad workers song. How is the Puppy of Interest doing? Puppy of Interest 42, codenamed Charlie, is doing quite well. She is thriving. She is moisturized. She is unbothered. She is the sweetest pumpkin. Malachi, thank you for sending a floating heart to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they feel the love. Intern Browser says, yo, anyone in the chat want to play with 018? Intern Browser, do you want to play with becoming a D class? Don't mess with the bouncing ball. Hi, I just joined the SCP Wiki official page, so now I'm officially an intern at the SCP Foundation. And help, they want to put me on 049 watch duty. Well, someone's got to watch it, just don't let it touch you. It'll be fine. Titanborn, thank you for your 12 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your year of service. 1 year. Truly been a ride, Dr. Music Man. Dr. Music Man, that's actually not bad. Not bad at all. And yes, it has been quite a year of daily streams. Also, upcoming, we're 2 days away from the 11-year anniversary of Site 42 on YouTube. 11 years. And then we have the end of summer, which is, of course, the annual trip to MetroCon Tampa, as well as my birthday that same weekend. So if you can be in Tampa, Florida, the last weekend of July, it's going to be a hell of a party, I tell you that. Was that a MatPat reference? If it was, I see Puppet Boy with Music Man. I see. I'm making a 2316 short film animatic with the song The Water is Fine by Chloe Ament in the background. That sounds wonderful. I don't know that song, but you're making an animatic about an SCP. I'm already on board and hoping for your success. Make art. That's what the SCP community's about. Holy, why did you sound like MatPat for a second? Froy, we're both theater kids. It is a true stereotype. I'm thinking of making a Gibbon SCP. Is there any? Intern Primal. What I want you to do, I'm going to show you this once, but from now on, you go to the SCP database, any page, even the home page, and you click search. You type your object of search interest, Gibbon, and 134 pages have been found. If you add the tag SCP, now it's 114 pages found. These are SCPs that include the word Gibbon. SCP-4225, Sammy the Superfluous Serpent by Senor Supertainment, has Gwenda the Glamorous Gibbon, who is listed on several. It sounds like you guys, when we're talking about pets, summoned Puppy of Interest 42 again. Look at what you've done. She's clambering. She knew you were talking about her. And she's so excited. No one can say no to those beautiful little eyes. Puppy of Interest 42 is quite the sweetest pumpkin on site. Is the kitty near? There is a kitten as well. Go get him.
Charlie, get him.
She does not know get him then. That's my thumb. That's not him. The best babies, of course. Site 42 staff, just a moment to note, as a time check, we are currently 25 minutes from the end of stream, so get your last 25-minute questions in before we end for the day. I'm returning to the chat. Turning staff against each other? What is this? The SCP Fight Club? Well, of course not, Titanborn, because everyone knows we don't have an SCP Fight Club. We would never do something so unprofessional and reckless in the 7th floor gymnasium in the east wing of Site 42 on Friday nights. No, we don't even have a rule against talking about SCP Fight Club, because for there to be a rule about talking about SCP Fight Club, there would have to be an SCP Fight Club to have rules against talking about it. And since we don't have an SCP Fight Club, we definitely don't have rules against talking about the non-existent SCP Fight Club. Dr. Sherman, you asked me to remind you of the Shermusical, sir. Ah, yes. There are certain people who wish me to sing more of Hamilton the Musical as the end credit song. Now I have an end credit song picked today. It matches the theme and everything. But if we somehow have in this next 23 and a half minutes another 50 donated memberships to the Containment Hazard Assessment team, I will change what I'm doing and I will do an entire song from Hamilton of the chat's choosing as the credit song. Intern Nightmare Bonnie, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a candied apple on your way past the commissary. What do we put SCP-729? Dash J. What about it? On SCP-6823. What is SCP-6823? SCP-6823 is a supermassive supercomputer with an estimated diameter of 40,000 kilometers and a mass estimated at exceeding 200 times Earth's mass, seemingly located on Jupiter. So a crazy supercomputer on Jupiter. Well, if we put 682 on Jupiter, it would just fly back to us because it hates humanity and wants to kill us all. Now I'm curious as to who built the giant supercomputer on Jupiter. The Super Jupiter computer. What would happen if you introduce SCP-001, the Gate Guardian, to SCP-343? Would this prove if he is God? Intern Array, we have actually already done that. Desk, can you remind me the exact altercation that occurred? Suffice it to say, 001 called out 343 for being a fraud and not God. Desk, a very knowledgeable source on that, will let us know what the situation there is. Why the heck can't I use my George greeting? Dr. Frogman, are you having trouble using the emotes? Maybe refresh the YouTube or something? I haven't tweaked the emotes at all. They should still be there, and you are still a member, so it should work. Puppet Boy can sing to George. I wonder what's wrong with Dr. Frogman's emotes. The member emojis have been missing for days on my end. What? Well, we know they exist for Puppet Boy at the very least. And other people. So there seems to be some sort of YouTube issue, I guess. Divine intervention, is that what you seek? Well, no, that's the tale where we shot 343 in the face, which was very cathartic, but it had nothing to do with SCP-001, the Gate Guardian. So, that's not what I'm looking for. What if the hard-to-destroy reptile looks at Shy Guy? Intern Johnston, we did this before. 096 tries to kill 682, but fails. After 27 hours, it has a little mental breakdown and then gives up. Desk cannot find the source of what he is searching for, but to answer the previous question, SCP-001 turned 343 away from the gate. Not God. New to this, I would like to ask, what would the SCP classification of the Persona series phenomenons like Iwatadai's Dark Hour, for example, where personas and shadows must be contained? Well, if it's anomalous, it must be contained. That's always the case. But I don't know what those anomalous phenomena are. What if I type in Persona Dark Hour? Will I get what I want? Dark Hour Shadow Time is a phenomenon that occurs every night as a time anomaly that takes place during 12 a.m. and serves as the 25th hour, hidden between one day and the next. As phenomenon takes place, a non-persona user transmogrified in coffins and remember nothing that happens during the dark hour once they awaken, because this general public is unaware of its existence. Well, therefore, if the Foundation somehow found out about this, we would contain knowledge of it to make sure no one knows about it. Since it is self-containing secrecy, that makes our jobs easier, which I appreciate. Attracted to 682, thank you for donating again to say, Gate Guardian is a fraud too. I trust 682 there. What do you mean by that? What do you mean 682 said the Gate Guardian is a fraud? Say more. Intern Nightmare Bonnie, thank you for sending another goat trophy to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. They will continue to be the goats unless they play SCP-5045, codename Goat VR, in which they will stop being the goats and just turn into goats in the VR game Goat VR. It's a dangerous one. Dr. Pepper Lover, yes, happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month and Pride Month and whatever awareness bringing months you are currently celebrating, because people of all types should have good mental health and be allowed to love who they love and live fulfilling lives. The only people who shouldn't are people who try to stop others from doing so. Intern Malachi, thank you for sending a gold coin to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will spend it wisely. Attracted to 682, thank you for donating again and saying, in their cross test, 682 called the Gate Guardian a pretender and said it was a fake Garden / Uriel. I think both it and 343 might be frauds. You saw nothing. Interesting. These anomalies all have a certain history they don't like to tell us about. but then they all have their opinions of each other. It's very strange. What if you throw the hard to destroy reptile in a black hole? Intern Johnston, we don't know, because if we put it in a spaceship or launched it, it would destroy said spaceship and grow solar sails and fly back to Earth. We tried launching it into the sun. It didn't work. My birthday is on Father's Day. I'm turning 20. I hate growing up. Intern John. I'm just telling you, aging has many benefits. Growth and wisdom are important, making wiser choices. Trust me, my 30s were better than my 20s, and I'm looking forward to my 40s being better than my 30s. Intern Robert. Dr. Sherman, do you remember me? You have a very generic name, Intern Robert. I do not remember you off the top of my head. Maybe it's too many amnestics. Why is he low-key ignoring me? Intern Cran, this is the first time I've ever seen your name. I'm not ignoring you. There's more than just you in the chat. Please practice some self-control and dignity. You are not the only person here. Entitlement is killing everybody on Earth because people believe that they are entitled to things when they aren't. Would you dare to look at SCP-096? Intern Harvey. That would be idiotic. You would die. No. What if someone makes SCP-999 cry? Well, Intern Johnston, they get the Glock. 999 knows how to use it. Don't you worry. Intern Kepler, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a Bananas Foster's on your way past your commissary. Search up my SCP on Google to find the pages called SCP-9129 Chime Man. If you like it, please make a short about it or review it, please. Is this a canon SCP, as as in it's on the SCP database. Because here at Site 42, unfortunately, we cannot look at every SCP that is created on the entire internet. We focus only on things that have been posted on the SCP database. Oh, it looks like if this is true... What? Did you post a... Are you the person who posted this 9129 on the SCP database? Approximately 50 minutes ago? Because this is not a finished SCP article. SCP-9129, the Man in the Mirror. Item number SCP-912, Object Class Euclid, Special Containment Procedures due to SCP-9129's blank. Description, 9129 is a 6x5 foot mirror with a black Victorian-style mirror. Addendum. Intern Kepler, I'm sorry to say, why did you post this completely unfinished article to the SCP database? This is going to be deleted instantly. You do realize that, correct? The SCP Wiki is a creative writing website, and you have not posted anything creative here. No, that was not me. Okay, good. Because, yeah, that's going to be instantly deleted. Who's Site Director Arvind Desai? Intern Enzo, Dr. Desai is the Site Director of Site 42 based in North Carolina. In certain canons, there is a North Carolinian Site 42 run by Dr. Desai. In some canons, there is a Site 42 in the San Francisco Bay Area run by Dr. Sherman. All right, well, let's downvote that and let people delete that when the time comes. Well, Kepler, I don't know where your SCP is, but I only look at SCPs from the SCP database. And please, chat, remember, due to having so many followers, I am not open to critique articles in general. Because if I agreed in fairness to critique someone's article, I would not have time to do anything else as I was flooded with requests to crit articles. So I only critique articles very rarely on stream when it interests me, but if you ask, I'm probably going to say no. Intern R142A, thank you for sending 44 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team, which means that the chat is a 4-star team again, almost a 5-star. Uh-oh. You're almost a 4-star team, and with 5 minutes left on the clock, can you make it to 5 stars, chat? We shall see. Oh, Malachi corrected it. There you go. 5-star team again. You did it. What if you send Mr. Deeds after the higher-ups? Intern Johnston, the overseers have very high security. The likelihood is the Mr. Deeds instance would be terminated. Dr. Sherman, how does the Foundation differentiate between anomalies and what might be natural evolution? Typically, anomalies don't follow the standard laws of physics. They do things that are impossible for other creatures. Sometimes anomalous or sometimes non-anomalous animals have evolved ways that have crossed that line or clouded that line, but we have figured out through tracing and species research what has crossed the line versus what is actually anomalous. You can look at the explained classification of articles for more information on that. Sleepless Dragon, thank you for sending 5 sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will enjoy cleaning all that glitter off of their desks. What if we glue a picture of Shy Guy onto SCP-173? Then, intern Crayon, we demote you to D class, not just for risking people's lives, but also for your super basic bitch pranks. Come on, everybody and their mother has had that idea as a practical joke. Be original, please. Intern Coreno, thank you for sending a gold coin to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they'll spend it wisely. What if Shy Guy was locked in an infinite IKEA and someone looked at his face? It's not a his, intern fish. SCP-096 is an object, not a person. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. They are its, not he's. And because 096 can find you wherever you are, that means it can sense the door to the infinite IKEA. Meaning if you're outside the IKEA and 096 is in there, it will find its way out to get you. Intern Bond, thank you for sending a gold coin to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they'll spend it wisely. 100 stars, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You made them a 1-star team with 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. I hope they can be a 5-star team again, but it might not be possible. Intern Wine, thank you for sending a gold coin to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they'll spend it wisely. And R142A, thank you for sending 5 gold coins. I'm sure those doubloons will be very useful. Roy, thank you for these entertaining cat ears. I'm sure the chat is enjoying the whimsy, so to speak. Yes. Malachi, thank you for sending 8 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You thereby made them from 1-star, 4-star, a 4-star team. Anthony Bond, you sent another gold coin. Thank you for the doubloons for the chat. And 2 more doubloons for the chat, Anthony Bond. And as a 4-star team, you guys are ending the stream today, it seems like. Attractive 6A2, favorite evil immortal reptile from SCP? Well, I wouldn't call SCP-5320, the long fish, our longest boy, evil. And we can't prove that it's not immortal. I mean, we can't even find the head or the tail, but obviously 5320 is the best any sort of scaly creature on the SCP database. Troy, congratulations on making them a 5-star team right at the buzzer. And intern Bond, thank you for sending a sundae to the Containment Hazard Adjustment team. I'm sure they'll enjoy the sweet treat. Now, Site 42 staff, we are currently at the end of today's stream. And as I do at the end of every stream, as a tradition around these parts, I tell you my favorite SCPs. But I'm not going to tell you that my favorites are ones I personally wrote. That would be cheating. But if you want to read the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page and Site 42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you're on my author page, one tab over from the SCPs, you'll find a list of links. Links that people can find if they are clever enough, but certain people in this chat, they're just not clever enough. It's very sad for them. But for those of you who are clever enough, you will find those links. And when you do, you'll be able to become a YouTube Patreon or channel member to support Site 42 monthly. You can do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat to donate to us one at a time. Either way, direct donation is the quickest way to help out Site 42 and its staff, so we greatly appreciate your generosity. Furthermore, if you are part of the Broke Gang and you cannot donate, do not fret. We are an arts community. We understand starving artists. That's why I answer white name messages. That's why we have the chat not members only, so that if you are Broke Gang, you can still contribute as a member of Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, when you make art and memes and edits and clips and shit posts of Site 42 and the SCP projects we support, like Containment Breach the Movie by Keter Labs, now in Kickstarter, like the SCP Wiki and its authors and artists, the animators, filmmakers, game devs, merch makers, podcasters. You are helping us to get bigger and better SCP projects made. We can't do it alone. It's got to be a community effort. And we thank you for your service. The more time you put in, the more money you guys can put in, time or money or both, the faster we get an SCP movie in theaters. The faster we get AAA level SCP games. The big companies won't do it because they're afraid of the Creative Commons, so we just have to do it ourselves. During the start of the outro, I see that from a 4-star team that went back to a 5-star team, R142A sent 6 stars, making you a 1-star team. No, R142A sent 10 stars, making you a 4-star team again, a 5-star team again. Then Froy sent 1 star, bringing us back to a 1-star team. Then Bond sent 8 sparkles, so you're all covered in more glitter. 3-star team from Malachi, more glitter. 4-star, 5-star. You're ending in a 5-star team. You did it. I don't know how, but you did it. Good work, Site 42 staff. Thank you, Site 42 staff, for another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my life with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. The credit song is Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra. Oh, what's going on here? Froy, thank you for sending 1, 2, 3, 4 more stars to make them a 4-star team at the ending. How rude to take them away from 5 stars at the. Oh, you made them 5 stars. Okay, you fixed it. Also, I forgot my favorite SCPs apparently. So, SCP 3999. 3043008 to say spooky internet content warning last one. It's a rough read. 399 3043008 to say spooky and I can't do one. That's a rough read. Goodbye. See ya.